Let's do it then, brother. Normally I'm introing with some brand of, hold up, a popular stranger minute, the whole thing. But I feel like I got to, in honor of our guest, I'm gonna do my best impressions here. Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Less Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again with another FENDTALKS video with the godfather of Hold Up, man, legend in the channel, the OG Popular Stranger. A very good afternoon to you, Pop. What's happening, man?
Chilling. Thank you for having me. What up to everybody in the chat? Thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, right, man. My pleasure. You got we're battling with movers this morning.
Yeah, we so we had a bunch of stuff delivered yesterday, and today was supposed to be the couch, like the final piece, the couch and the bed.
Right.
Delivery shows up. There's no couch in sight. Ashley Furniture never told us that they were only delivering the bed today.
That's nice.
So then we got a mattress and then like an adjustable frame, and the adjustable frame had a mechanical issue that wasn't working, so I had to take that back. So at least we have a mattress to sleep on tonight, because tonight's going to be the first night that we actually sleep in the bedroom, or in the house, I should say. But we have no couch to sit on now. So got this nice, beautiful TV hooked up yesterday, mounted on the walls. Looking forward to watching some TV, and we got to sit in lawn chairs for probably another week.
I mean, moving might literally be the worst thing that you have to do as an adult. Yeah. I try to do it minimally, but French toast. Is this like a happy move for you guys? Is it you move it to a better spot? You like where you're at now?
Yeah, absolutely. It's our brand new homeowners. It's our first house. We've rented all our lives. Thank you. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. I got my whole man cave. I showed stream last night. Got my own room to myself. It's exciting times for sure. Once we can get everything settled in, it'll be that much better. But yeah, it's been quite a process with the way the housing market is right now.
I can imagine.
It was almost a miracle that we found a house for a good price in the right area with all the things we need. But it's a W for sure.
Hell yeah, right. And I feel like you gotta make something happen in the background so we could still have Mrs. Pop, on a couch close by to the stream. I feel like it wouldn't quite be the same thing. Is she gonna be down to come into man cave, or is she gonna step out a little bit?
So the funny thing is, she thinks and swears that she's not gonna sit down here anymore. The way the room is set up is I got my stuff here, and then there's a fireplace to the left of me. I'm putting a TV above the fireplace, and there's going to be a couch in front of it. Nice. But she swears up and down she's not going to sit down here anymore. One of the bargaining chips I had was for me to get my own huge room, she had to get her own room. So there is a extra bedroom upstairs where all of her, she just yelled from all the way upstairs that she won't be down here. I don't know if anybody could hear that. But she swears she's not going to sit down here anymore, but she will.
Yeah, you better hope for your pack luck that she's lying to you about that. I think Mrs. Pop probably got the some of the best pulls in the channel all time. That lady's a magician.
Absolutely. Early Mutt 20, what was it, Mutt 21? Early Mutt 21. She pulled everything for me. She pulled like full 50 cards every week.
Nuts.
She pulled a full Legend Bo Jackson when it came out. It was like 3 weekends in a row she pulled full legends. It was like ridiculous.
Every time I saw a highlight of a pull of yours, it was actually Mrs. Pop behind the operation. Super dope. I love that you guys are able to do stuff like that together, and she's so involved with the stream. Your community loves her. I think that's super dope.
Yeah, see the Miss Pop emotes being spammed right now. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, good shit there, boys. So Pop, man, so part of the part of what I'm trying to do with these FENDTALKS is we're all you got fans and supporters top to bottom in the channel. We all see so much of you, whether it be YouTube or your streams on Twitch, and and I think you're maybe a little exception to this rule, but every once in a while, like, you just don't get to hear all too much about the background or the origin story and kind of the path that you walked en route to, being the entertainer that we know you as today. And I mean, I've told you this before, and I'll tell you it numerous times again. For me personally, there's only one dude that made me convert from, brought me over from YouTube to Twitch, and that was you, bro. And I mean, so to say that you've been an inspiration for me personally drastically understates it. My goal is going to be to talk as little as possible during this thing, but just to be very clear about, and this is old news to the chat as well, but just to put it on record here, as well. Hold up, the catchphrase, the sub hype hold up was immediately and directly born from Popular Stranger. The first, I booted up a stream, everything's going great. We got affiliate, here we go. We got some subs, and first couple subs roll in, and I start to do the pop thing. I started to let it rip. I was midway into hype in the chat, and it starts coming out, and I was in my mind, I'm like, you can't bite him that hard. Like, imitation is the highest form of flattery, they say, but you got to figure something else out mid sentence, mid syllable. Hold up a goddamn minute. and I've rocked with it ever since, man. So to say that you've been an inspiration certainly understates it, and I appreciate you coming on here. But let's start kind of from the beginning, I suppose. I know, are you still in the Syracuse area? Did you grow up around there, Pop?
Yeah, I've been here pretty much all my life, with the exception of went to college in Buffalo, so I can't escape the snow no matter. Well, I haven't really tried at all to do it, but right. Yeah, I've been in Central New York my whole life.
I bet. What did the family home look like? Did you grow up with any siblings, like mom and dad in the house? What did it look like growing up for you?
Yeah, mom, stepdad, and sister. Have a sister, younger sister.
Sweet, man. Beautiful. So Syracuse area, went to school at Buffalo, you said?
Buffalo State, yep.
Okay, is that a SUNY?
Yes.
Okay, I went to UAlbany, actually, is my alma mater.
Nice.
Right up there by you. My roommate was from, is Salve a high school in Syracuse? Am I making that up?
Yeah, Salve, I would say from like the city of Syracuse is within like a half hour. It's not too far out, but yeah, it's right around the Syracuse area. Okay,
bet. I would get heat going, being from I was like, I went to school in upstate New York, and depending on like how upstate people are, some of them say Albany is like kind of like the start of upstate. Some people are like, nah, like you're not really upstate New York until you get to Buffalo. Are you gatekeeping me if I say that I went to school in upstate New York? Does Albany count? Are you good with that?
I feel like anything that's not New York City is upstate New York, so you're good there for sure.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I feel like that's totally reasonable. So, Pop, man, when did like video games enter the fray for you? What were you doing as a kid? Were you a sports guy? Were you out here touching a lot of grass? I didn't become a sports guy until high school, but like, how did it shape up for you like early on? Are you gaming early? You a sport guy early? What's good?
I would say both. Gaming wise, yeah, like I remember earliest memories of video games were they had these little handheld games where you would buy them, but it was only one game. So like I had Castlevania was the one that I remember. Have no idea how old I was playing that, but that Castlevania handheld game, and then I remember playing, it's funny, Mario with my mom. Like me and my mom used to play Super Mario, the first one on Nintendo.
Cool.
Sports wise, yeah, I mean, I was always more of a bigger basketball fan growing up. Football, I started to enjoy like in the early 90s, probably. I'm old. Everybody's going to call me a boomer. I get it.
Oh, here we go.
But
you fucked it. Yeah, you got some of your OGs in here. They're going to cook you.
Yeah, they all call me. That's
bravado.
Yeah, that's been like the latest thing in my chat for the last like 2 months is I just get called a boomer. No matter what I do and say. But video games wise, all my life until, I'll be honest, like maybe around end of high school, maybe like junior year, all the way till about maybe sophomore, junior year of college, I just kind of stopped playing them, probably because I was in college and end of high school. And then it's funny, like I played Madden. I think the earliest Madden I played was maybe like 93 on like Sega Genesis.
Right.
And I stopped playing for a while, and there was this bar on Syracuse University campus that we would go to in the summertime, and they had like a Madden tournament there, and I'm like, oh, I used to play Madden back in the day. So like I just randomly entered it. It was free. I made it to the finals and I lost.
Sick.
And so I'm like, all right, I'm determined now. So I go back the next weekend and I win the whole thing. Mind you, I won it on, God, was that PlayStation 3? I'm pretty sure it was PS3, and I didn't even own a PS3.
Wild.
I won the tournament, and the prize was a copy of Madden. Was Madden 11 Drew Brees, the Drew Brees cover?
I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Whatever cover Drew Brees was on, I won that game, but I didn't own the console, a controller, anything to even play it. So then I had to like scheme up a way, because I'm a broke college kid at this point. I had to figure out a way to buy a PlayStation. Now, I mean, I can't have this game and not play it. Like, I need the console.
Right.
And that kind of got me back into gaming. Is winning that Madden tournament. Eventually got a PS3. Played Madden 11 on it, then kind of got into Call of Duty. That was back when World at War was out. That was like the first Call of Duty that I ever played.
2012-ish.
Yeah. And it's funny, I don't know if I'm going too far ahead here, but
on your time.
When I first started my whole YouTube adventures, it was because I thought I was a good Call of Duty player, and in Modern Warfare 2, I loved the throwing knife.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm buying like a capture device. I'm going to make throwing knife montages. And they're somewhere out there on YouTube. I've had about 4 different channels at this point.
Interesting.
And I know they're on one of them. I just can't remember which one off the top of my head. But yeah, I literally made Call of Duty montages. And even back then, it was tough to get views. Now on Call of Duty, you got to be lucky to get noticed on there starting out. But I remember searching my own titles and trying to find ways to get noticed. And then I was like, well, hold up. I play Madden a lot too, and there's not many people uploading Madden. Maybe I should start doing this. And I think it was maybe MUT 12 is when I started. I think Madden Ultimate Team 12. I was like, well, let me start uploading Madden stuff, and it kind of been doing it since.
That must have been one of the earlier. That must have been one of the earlier MUTs, right? Didn't they just kind of boot it up sometime around then?
It started in 11, I believe, and 12 was the first one I really started playing, and been playing since.
It's wild to think about the butterfly effect, what life would be like had you not come back for the second Madden tournament and wind up winning the thing, right. Or if you got cheated or had some RNG bullshit during the game and didn't wind up winning the copy, how things would have been different. Actually wild. And then it started on Call of Duty. I also had no idea about that, Pop.
Yeah. Yep. Call of Duty. I thought I was going to be a pro Call of Duty player, and little did I know I was not good at all compared to what people can do now.
I mean, yeah, it's irresponsible. You can't even play unless you're a pseudo professional anymore. I deleted the thing off. I'd play with my buddies. I got sick of going 0-2 every single game, so I bounced out of there. But from what you were saying, it sounds like kind of the I don't know, maybe a little bit less saturation as far as Madden goes from what you were noticing on YouTube. So it started as a Call of Duty thing, I'll put something out there, notice there might have been an opening and some availability in Madden, and is that kind of what motivated you to start really tapping in and focusing on Madden?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Seeing that not a lot of people are doing it, but there's people looking for it, so let me try it this way, and I did that. Some people in the chat might remember my old NCAA dynasties for maybe started doing that in 2012 or 13. Did a Northwestern dynasty series, Tulane dynasty series, and those used to do pretty well as far as views go at that point. And even MLB The Show, I think I was uploading MLB The Show as early as, God, was that 2000? I think 14. MLB The Show 14. I was one of the first people doing Diamond Dynasty videos too.
My goodness, you've really been doing this for a minute. That's longer than I anticipated you having tapped into YouTube for.
Yeah, it's been a while. I guess I am a YouTube boomer for sure.
Nah, I'll let the chat lean into you on that one, bro. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I'm still fanboy over here. Were you? Of the guys, so there's not a whole lot of action going on. But do you recall? Were you watching any Madden content for the stuff that was out at that point? Were you kind of taking inspiration from anywhere, or watching any guys, or did you just really kind of do it yourself, and then everyone watched you from there?
I mostly watched Call of Duty people until after I was established. I shouldn't even say established, but doing Madden stuff, not until maybe a year or two after that. I remember One guy who gave me a huge break, I could say, was Sports Gaming Universe. I have no idea if his channel's still out there. I would assume it is.
Mm-hmm.
But he used to feature other creators on his YouTube channel, and he let me post. He basically let people upload their videos or make their own videos, but upload them on his channel. And, you know, he had a good number of subscribers back then, so that used to bring a lot of traffic over. But I watched him a lot. I remember, God, what's his name? Duke the Killer or Duke the God? I'm forgetting his name. But him, Addy Cards was another one for sure.
Cool.
Is a legend in the Madden game.
Hell yeah, right. So I mean, so once you started off with this thing, did you find traction right off the rip? Like, it sounds like, you know, you had some good connections, good networks that were helping out with bringing some traffic to the channel. But did you kind of jump both feet in and had some success early on? Or was there like an early time that I assume that, you know, you had to grind through a little bit?
Oh, it was a grind, and I was super scummy too, right? Thinking back at it, well, it's maybe not scummy, but I used to, this is one thing I used to do, like, I would search videos, Madden videos, and I would go through the comments and I would send YouTube messages to anybody that commented on a Madden video and was like, yo, I saw you watch this. I post Madden content too. Check out my channel. And I think it worked a little bit. It's super spammy now, and I would block anybody that ever did that. YouTube might block anybody that does that, honestly. Right. But yeah, I used to do that. And then even Mutthead TV. I don't know how many people remember Mutthead TV. Shout outs to Rockets. I love Rockets, man. He's really helped me throughout my career as well.
Hell yeah.
He started a little like a YouTube channel when Mutthead came out, and Mutthead TV was like me, DJ Mateo, D Coop. Who else was on there? God, TD Presents, who's like super huge now, and kind of same thing. He had a community channel. We would create content, he would post it and link our personal channels to it, and those types of things definitely helped my channel grow.
That I don't even know. I guess I know what you mean when you're saying scummy, but like, I mean, it's like you're going door to door. That's the equivalent of going door to door with your product. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe you don't love it, and I don't like getting the knocks on my door, but like you certainly, you got to respect it. So you started to get a little bit of traction, a little bit of, a little bit of action, some views, some traffic coming into your channel. Was Ultimate Team a catalyst that really started your ascent to what we know now? Like, what were the earliest versions of successful MUT content? Was it the sniping guides and like the market sheets and the tips that we see today, or did that kind of develop through the years? How did it start?
It started with just regular regs gameplays, and then Ultimate Team was more. Early on I didn't do many like tips videos. It was more like, here's my lineup, look at it. Here are my packs, look at them. It was very basic stuff. Some of my old videos are so awful. Like, sometimes occasionally when I get drunk on a Saturday night and I'm streaming, we'll go back and watch old videos. But the two things that were probably my favorite and helped the most were doing montages and card reviews. And card reviews definitely were like something nobody was really doing other than Gut Fox. Me and Gut Fox were like the first two people to do card reviews. I think we both gave up on them at the same time, because the problem with doing those, that everybody wanted to see gameplay from the cards so fast, but card reviews, it would take me 3 or 4 days to collect usable clips for them. Like, I don't want to show off a player running a route and not throwing him the ball, so I would want to get good gameplay clips. And by the time I got the reviews out there, it was like people are moving on to the next thing, so I had to stop those. But card reviews definitely helped me grow my channel for sure, and that was like my bread and butter for a couple years.
Hell yeah. Was Twitch a part of the equation at this point yet, or was Twitch not part of what you were doing just yet? Was it just YouTube and built from there?
Twitch was weird because I would occasionally stream, but it was super rare, and it would mostly be MLB The Show, to be honest. And it was something like, when I say occasionally, I'm talking maybe twice a month for 3 months of the year. It was very, very rare, but I would do it. And then I really got the urge, and I wanted to do it because Pony Montana and Kep were probably the two people I watched a ton.
Dope.
At work. I'd be at my work computer, bored, load up Twitch. This is before my job blocked people from using Twitch, and I would watch them in the daytime, and I'd be like, I have a good YouTube audience. This seems fun. It seems more relaxed. I don't have to edit anything. I can literally turn on the game, listen to music, and play it. And I told my wife I wanted to do it. She, supported my YouTube stuff and all, and she kind of pushed me to do it. She bought the very webcam you're watching me on right now. She bought it for me for Christmas one time.
Wow.
And boom, that's what started my Twitch career.
Goodness gracious. Now, like looking, I guess, all right, so YouTube first kind of expanded into Twitch, and Mrs. Pop has had your back with this thing from the jump, it sounds like. I assume that she's been a huge part of the support system that's enabled you to do this, just because I know, I assume it can get a little bit sketchy sometimes on, living the dream a little bit, but Mrs. Pop sounds like nothing but support from you from second one. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, 0% chance that I could do this without her support and flexibility, and I couldn't do it without her. We've had arguments before that because you got to manage your time doing this stuff here, but we kind of sat down, set up a schedule, and now if I don't follow the schedule we set, like she gets on me. You need to go stream. There's so many times that I've not wanted to, and because of her I have. It's pretty funny.
God, it's a fucking beautiful thing. That's like best case scenario. We love to hear that. Shout to Mrs. Pop. Nothing but love and respect from the congregation, of course. So Twitch may be kind of like an outside priority compared with YouTube at first, but obviously things must have changed at some point. You achieved partnership for your channel, and you could pack a room with the best of them now. When did a focus pick up on Twitch? Was it just Mrs. Pop encouraging you to keep booting up, keep streaming the thing, combined with the YouTube? Like, when did you turn the corner into now it's looking like you might be able to do something as a streamer here too?
Yeah, it took me probably a good year and a half to get to that point. Just being consistent and just noticing the average viewers slightly go up and up and up and up, and then it got to the point like every partners probably dealt with, where I was able to apply and then got denied, I think 4 times probably, and eventually got it. And then that kind of led into where we are now. It's just been, growing every year with the opportunities with Madden Live and all the things that EA has provided me as well. It's just been growing from there because of that as well.
Hell yeah.
And just being consistent.
Have you been able to do any of the in-person events that ScoMo was telling us about some of them, and Cece were telling us about some of them? Did you get to be a part of some of the the EA in-person experiences?
Yeah.
You got a favorite?
I think so. Another thing that kind of catapulted me up here now is Kralo. I'm sure everybody has a Kralo story who's met him. Kralo, I don't think I'd be here without Kralo. Well, I'd be here, but I wouldn't be in the position I'm at without Kralo.
Wow.
What year was it? I think it was going into Madden 9. Yeah, going into Madden 19 that summer. Just pulled up my Twitter app, had a DM, checked the DM. It's from Kralo. He had just started working at EA, and he legit was like, big fan, been watching your channel for years before I even, started working for Mutthead and EA. How would you like to fly out to LA for EA Play?
Yes, I would enjoy that very much, please.
And I'm just like, shit, like, call my wife at work. She's like, why are you even calling me? Like, the answer is yes, right?
Legend.
So say yes, and they flew me out to LA for EA Play. So I've been there twice. Would it be going into 19 and going into 20? And those by far would be my favorite experiences because it's LA. Like it's right. Super dope there. Right. Everything's paid for: hotel, transportation. They give you stipends for food. So Those have been my favorites. I've been down to Orlando maybe 3 or 4 times, couple times for early capture. Been down there to test game modes early. It's funny, Superstar KO. Me and like 5 other people got flown down there to play Superstar KO before it was announced, and had to hold on to that secret for a while. But yeah, I would say LA, to answer your question, LA has definitely been the most fun time, and then the trips to Orlando to do early capture are really cool because you're there with everybody else who does videos, and meeting these people that you watch on your screen. Right. Everybody in this community is super cool when you get to meet them. So those have always been fun. With COVID, we got early capture last year, but it was all remote. I doubt it's happening this year. So yeah, it's been a while since we've been able to do those things, but they're fun. They're definitely fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. I really hope that they go back to, the in-person stuff at some point, because as, newcomer to the community, I missed all that. And even just, watching you guys go to it, like I haven't been able to be a viewer of, someone like you at the event. And while you were telling us about that, you mentioned, how big of a role Kralo played for you and, setting you up for as much success as you had. And this is a sentiment that I keep hearing on the show. I don't know Kralo personally. He's been nothing but kind and just the best in any interaction I have had with him. But it really sounds like Kralo is the fucking guy. Is that fair to say? Like Kralo just a real deal good dude?
Yeah, he I think like the word is spread around very well that he is, but I'll just say it from my standpoint. I don't think I've seen anybody care about their job more than Kralo does.
Saying a lot.
So like he's a great dude. He's very helpful, but he cares so much. It's absolutely ridiculous. He cares too much, to be honest. But yeah, he's a great dude, and if it wasn't for him and Gabby as well, like those two have really helped me over the last couple of years. Kralo with that initial invite, and then I guess that kind of got me into the game. I'll use air quotations, game changer program, or just overall working with EA. And
right.
Ever since then, they've reached out to me with tons of opportunities, whether it's early capture, making videos for them, like sponsored videos. Madden Live, of course, all that stuff.
As a friend of his, what did you feel? I'm sure we all remember it. It's come up a couple times in these interviews. What did you feel when, during that Madden Live, what was it, a Good Morning Madden stream where he had to kind of, stick up for himself? I don't know if you remember that. He basically leveled with the community. He said it better than this, but he was like, man, I'm just fucking human. You guys gotta like lay off a little bit. I remember, someone who knows him personally, you remember feeling a type of way about that?
Yeah, I'm just happy he spoke up for himself, because we a lot of people do it for him, but it was good for the authentic like voice of his to come out and say, listen, dude, like you guys gotta fucking relax. I'm doing my best here. A lot of shit is out of my hands. Like, just relax. Yeah. We're listening, and they are. It's just there's so many moving parts. It's a big corporation. But yeah, Kralo's the man.
Yeah, hell yeah, right. I feel like some of like the individuals that we have access to, like Kralo, like Clint, Jake Stein. Gabby gets it a little less because I suppose she's a little further behind the scenes. Clint especially. I think Clint outwardly, like on Twitter presence, gets the worst of it. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's fair that, because on one end, like, of course, as the leader of a team, you should be accountable to the end product, and as the representative, like, yeah, you are going to bear the brunt of a lot of the objections and what people have to say about the shit. On another hand, it's like, you see tweets hashtagging fire Clint, like, looking for his job and all this shit. Do you think they got it a little bit tough, or do you think, like, as the leader of teams, that's just kind of what you should expect from a community?
Yeah, that's really tough. Clint's another guy. I've met him before. He's super cool. Like, when I see people threaten his life and like just say outlandish shit, it's so ridiculous. Like, it's a video game. I totally get it. We all spend hours, whether it's Madden or any other game, we all spend hours on this. We want it to be good, and we get frustrated. I get frustrated too. I blame Clint for things when it's just human nature. Sure. And being that's his job, he has to kind of handle it. I wish people weren't so mean, to use, just a direct phrase there, but that's his job, so he does kind of have to take that along with it. But I would never root for somebody to like get fired. It's not all on him. There's hundreds of programmers that are making this game. Right. He's not actually writing code, and I think he's doing a really good job and the best that he can.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with all the above there. Do you think, I mean, and you've seen it evolve from very early, kind of like, I don't know, a high level question is like, what do you think like the state of the community is at? But a more specific question is like, from how you've seen things change and develop and evolve over the years, is the community in a similar place as to just kind of our general attitude now as we were? Do you think we're like a little harder on the game and maybe going over with a finer tooth comb than used to be? Where do you think we stand right now, kind of like as a larger community?
From a MUT standpoint, it felt like the majority of the community was on the same page this year, that the content was great, so I thought that was good. Shout outs to Jake, because he's another really cool guy, very hard worker. He cares a lot about MUT itself. From a gameplay standpoint, I think this is the cycle, in my opinion, every single year, is that everybody hates the current game. The new game comes out, and then all of a sudden the previous game was the greatest game ever made, and the current game sucks. And that happens every year. Like there's actual humans on this planet that think Madden 20 is better than Madden 21, and I don't understand it. And now everybody that hated 21 when 22 comes out, I'm sure they're gonna crown 21 as the greatest MUT ever, and that's just the cycle that's gonna happen every year until we die.
I mean, just with annual installments, it's like, just by nature, it's either, if it's too close to the same game, people are going to hate it, they're going to call it a roster update, and they're going to complain about that. And if it's too different, people hate changes. The comp guys, they got to adjust, and they're going to bitch and moan and complain about it. So it's almost like, I don't know, the EA's hands are tied. There's not a whole heck of a lot they could do in the way of like getting something right. It's either going to be too close to the same, or too different, or some variety of in between, where we'll I think very critical as a community, maybe fair to say.
We all just hate the game that we love. That's the easiest way I can explain it. We sit here and play this game that we hate, but we love it at the same time.
True indeed. Yeah, this morning, 6-0 in games. It's the greatest game ever. Next Gen is the best. I'm on Belt Watch. Everything is great. Check in with me a weekend league after I drop 3 in a row. This shit is garbage. I'm giving up streaming. I'm going to go to Roblox and Minecraft, and I really just got to chalk it up. So I guess like on a similar note, as you've rode the waves of kind of the ebbs and flows of the community, everything that comes along with that, and of course just being in the public eye by nature leaves you open to scrutiny. One of the topics that I struggle with my own mental health. I got my bipolar depression that I like to talk about and be open about with the channel. So kind of managing mental health and expectations in that way has been important to me throughout your career in content. Are there any ways that you've learned to hopefully your mental health is fucking great, and it always has been great, but have you picked up any tips or tricks or best practices in the way of keeping your head on right and maintaining a positive mental health and a good outlook? Has this been something you've struggled? Hopefully it's not something you'd struggle with at all, but I'm curious if you've had any experience with it.
Not a ton, just taking breaks when I need them, like trying to, because with all the algorithms, especially with YouTube, like taking a couple of days off can hurt you, but it just can't hurt as much as it could to keep doing something that's making your brain hurt or that's frustrating you. So just trying to take the proper breaks. If I don't feel like making a video, I'm just not going to make it, just because it's going to be better for me in the long run. So just trying to keep that kind of mind frame, not killing myself basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting too deep into like I have to do this on XYZ days, that's when you quickly can get carried away, and it becomes something that you don't want it to be in the first place. You mentioned the algorithm, and kind of you take a couple days off YouTube, that's going to hurt you. Have you learned any kind of big ticket items, like really valuable bits of information from when you started off, trying for your knife kill montages to where you are now? Really, it seems like kind of probably a master as much of a master as the algorithm as you can possibly be, do you feel like you got a better grip on it now? Like, are you learning things? I know McCullough and ScoMo were kind of like, yeah, it's like what you just figure out what works that day and you adjust constantly going forward. But do you feel like you got a better grip on the algorithm now than you did?
For sure. Now I'm still learning. Early on when I did most of my MUT content, I never covered like daily, content. It would just be on my kind of time. And now it's like, obviously, you got to put out the content when the content comes out. You got to put out videos on it to help people.
Right.
So just keeping up with the releases of content, titles. It's always good to go back and look at videos that did well and just kind of copy the title as much as you could without copying it exactly. So just looking at the trends to what does well, and it is really a day-to-day promo to promo basis at this point.
And it's tough, I feel like, especially for somebody that's trying to tap in. Like you mentioned, it's the same way with Call of Duty. Like it's just about, gosh darn near impossible to get yourself off the ground. Even me, the focus, of course, is on the live audience and the live experience of interviewing content creators like you and, having everyone be a part of it. But it's like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm putting out some like pretty good, like original content. At least it's like, I'm trying not to do like the clickbaity algorithmic type magic but it seems like, if I want any eyes on this stuff at all, that it does indeed seem like it's just something I'm going to have to, surrender to. Do you think you pretty much have to work within some of these algorithm considerations to get off the ground?
Yeah. Sometimes it's like there's some videos I put out for everybody, and then there's some videos I just put out for myself. And it can get frustrating because the videos I would say I put out for myself, I try not to focus on the views. But like two of my favorite things to do, Struggle Squad is a series I put out on my channel.
Hilarious.
There's probably going to be people in this chat that are going to say they love Struggle Squad. But
yeah.
Literally nobody watches Struggle Squad. And it blows my mind because everybody loves it, but the views say otherwise. And then my montages, my rage moments, at this point, I put out those videos for myself. I love watching them back because it's just funny to me, and everybody says they love those, but like they don't do views. So like those, I feel like I put those videos out for myself. And then the ones, there's just some videos I have to do because
right.
A, I know people are looking for this stuff, and B, I know they're going to get views without being scummy about it. But yeah, it works both ways for sure.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm trying to learn. Well, obviously, talking to a guy like you for a bit, I'm trying to learn everything I can. So as far as like where your content is at now, like kind of looking ahead, of course, I'm sure Madden 22 is going to be a boon for everyone. But especially you, how are you feeling about like where you're at right this second between the Twitch content and the YouTube content? Is there anything that you're looking forward to in Madden 22 that you could put on our radar? Like, what's the direction feeling like? Is it going to be plays that you've run so successfully in the past? So in that way, a lot of good stuff that we're familiar with. Do you have any other plans for expansion or other brands of content that you'd like to touch on in Madden 22? Like, what's kind of your direction as we sit here now?
Yeah, I think on my main channel, I think I'm just going to kind of keep it in the same direction because every year I'm seeing growth. This past year wasn't as good as from the previous year. But I do have a second channel right now. It's primarily been used for MLB The Show stuff, which kind of saved me from the summer drought that Madden provides. So like that channel is slowly growing and getting a couple thousand views on certain videos. It's keeping the revenue coming in that usually slows down during the summer. But I think for the second channel, I am going to post Madden on there as well, but it's going to be more like tipped-based, gameplay-based videos, even shorter videos like with the whole, 8 minutes to put multiple ads on your video. That stuff we'll keep doing on the main channel, but the second channel, I think I'm going to try to put out more helpful content. I put out a video last year on my second channel. It was the best video that I've done all year, views-wise. It's a 2-minute video on how to slide with your quarterback.
What?
And it still gets today. Let me pull up my phone. I'll tell you because you can see you can see your statistics for every 48 hours, right? So if I go to this video, go to analytics, my how to slide in Madden 21 video in the last 48 hours still has 159 views.
What?
Yeah. It's total on the year is 149,000, but on average over the last or over a 48-hour period, it's always like 150 to 200 views on how to slide.
I mean, what the fuck though? Is that frustrating to you? Like somebody who could put together a hilarious montage, the Struggle Squad is content genius, and you put out 2 minutes on how to slide, which you could just fucking open the instruction manual on and you find something on. Is that like, is it frustrating, or are you like, oh, whatever, I'll just take the views? Like, it's gotta be frustrating a little bit.
It's definitely frustrating at this point. I've just accepted it, and I just realized like some of my better Madden 21 videos are how to pass. That was like an EA sponsor video that I never would have put out on my own, but they wanted me to. Right. But it's like how to pass 101, and then I have another one that's how to return a kick. And those have like, a really good views. And where here I'm spending 3, 4, 5 hours putting together a montage, adding sound effects, camera zoom ins, and all this shit. And I can do those videos in an hour or less, and they're 10 times the views. Yeah, it can get frustrating. It can, but I just laugh and accept it at this point.
I guess you kind of have to. Like, what else are your options? I think that's kind of indicative though of like, I feel like within like the Twitch or YouTube community, like us who are intaking so much Madden and it really in the 0.01% of engagement, sometimes I feel like we think that we are like most of the Madden community, and it seems like, videos like these, how to slide, how to pass, how to return a kick, being so successful in my mind just kind of proves that like the majority of Madden that's happening is not on YouTube, it's not on Twitter, it's not on Twitch. They're not tapped in to the community like that at all, and it's just and so it's like, well, EA's not listening to us. Well, they might just be listening to their 99.9%, which is where their money is coming from. I feel like we're so quick to forget, like we represent a very small percentage of like Madden as a whole. What do you think, man? Do you feel like we get kind of tunnel vision on that? Because I mean, the fact that how to slide is getting more views than any fucking Fen Talk over the last 2 weeks, it's nuts. It's nuts.
No, I 100% agree with you. There's your friend Kyle. He's a big MLB The Show guy, and he put out a tweet a couple weeks ago about how like San Diego Studios is not listening to the competitive players because they make up 1% of the active, gameplay audience on this game. It's the same with Madden, and I agree is that we're super hardcore. We live and breathe this game. There are so many casual people that just want to turn it on and do the most basic shit, and they're the ones that are buying the majority of the copies. And that's why they cater and make features and things like that is for not us. And I, from a business standpoint, it makes complete sense to me.
Oh my God, 1,000%. Like, stuff like, I don't know how you feel about it. I'll be curious to know. I can just ask you, but like, even the outward presence from EA, like the Derwin versus the World series, and they're playing with these comp guys in squads, which is that was a fucking nightmare to watch. I mean, these guys are so good. They're like too good. It's like the Madden that makes it on like an ESPN or something like that is the least appealing from a casual fan's perspective, the least appealing version of Madden. Like watching these guys just like, Mike the backside, double team and end, get their cut, roll out to wind up throwing it away over and over and over and over and over again. I thought was terrible. So let me ask you, do you think do you think EA is operating in their best interest, in the best interest of everyone with kind of the direction that they've chosen to take? I would say, and not to put words in your mouth, I would say certainly appealing to the 99% rather than our 1%. Are you liking what you're seeing as far as the things that they're putting out in the entertainment that they're marketing to the masses here?
I think they do a good job of balancing it. I like that the competitive stuff, hits the ESPN. That's pretty cool. For sure. To be able to see that stuff. But yeah, I think they do a good job at balancing it.
That's a fair answer. I would say the same thing. Like we get some of like the squad sweaty type stuff, but Derwin, the Derwin special, I suppose, is a little less so. Just to go back to something you mentioned just a couple minutes ago in splitting up YouTube channels, this is the first time, and this might be a free game for myself and other smaller than you content creators. ScoMo was saying something about how like, if you were going to do two types of content on one channel, but like, for example, like an MLB video might get this percentage of likes or views compared to your X percentage of subscribers. Is that what you found to be the case too? Is that kind of the benefit in separating your channels, a higher percentage of view saturation? Is that how that's going?
That's what I've learned from other people. ScoMo's definitely one of them. Eric Rayweather has given me a lot of advice on that type of stuff here, is that like you want to keep on your main channel, you want to kind of keep the consistent uploads of the same type of content, because then if you switch it up, then it's just going to mess with your views, and then that therefore messes with your mood and your brain. And I created a second channel last year. Well, I've always had it, and I started uploading like just random Apex and Apex Legends and Modern Warfare, and I think I put like a Fall Guys gameplay. I literally made it because it was just going to be like an outlet for not Madden stuff. And then I saw, ScoMo last year doing the separate baseball channel, and I've seen other people do it, and even like who the Nick Merckx, I couldn't think of his name there for a minute. Yeah. Like he put out a second channel for just like extra stuff that they don't want to kind of mess with the algorithms on their main popular stuff, and that's pretty much why I did it. And I'm more so now I'm just thinking like that's not going to be just an MLB channel, but it's just going to be my playground for stuff that's I can put videos on that channel, and if it gets 100 views, I'm not going to stress myself out because it's a second channel, and it's just going to be for fun stuff and stuff that I'm not counting on popping off. But if it does, like that how to slide video, I mean, that's good.
Yeah, then great. Then hell yeah, right. Super dope. So without, of course, asking all too much specifics, and I'm not asking specifics, for a new creator looking ahead at, okay, I want to have a career in content creation. I'm looking at all of my avenues here. I'm looking at, Twitch, you can bring in some money from subs and bits and whatnot. YouTube, maybe a little bit longer of a play. We're having like other platforms, TikTok entering the fray, in whatever, Facebook game, like all the options kind of available before you from someone in your perspective, who has had great success both on YouTube and on Twitch. And again, not to ask specifics, but how would you point somebody at the beginning of this journey? What direction would you kind of point in? Or if you had priorities in your opinion that should take precedent over others, what do you think kind of as somebody starting off, maybe some of your priorities or direction should be at the beginning of this thing, given what you've learned all this time?
Really the consistency is really going to be your best option. People being familiar with when and how they can find you is always been helpful. So streaming at the same time, trying to upload around the same time. I think that's probably the best. And then just, I guess it's tough for me because like with YouTube, like I said, I started out with spamming people's inbox and then getting on a couple community channels that helped me grow. And then from there I took it. So I kind of got a couple alley-oops there. Sure. Now, I would say if you're talking like Twitch versus YouTube, YouTube, you could still be a small creator and a video is going to pop off if it hits the right, like that how to slide video. If it somehow hits the right eyes, it can take off. So I think YouTube, if you're going to start one or the other and you're not sure on which one you want to start, I would probably say YouTube. You're going to have a little bit more success. Versus Twitch, I think with Twitch, and I don't want to sound negative, but if you don't got it, you don't got it. Like you can stream for 2 years, and if you're getting 2 viewers every day for 2 years, it might not just be for you, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you, and I think that's kind of tough to I mean, everyone wants to be good at things, you know what I mean? But like, there's kind of this pervasive idea with like the support for support community, for example. It's like, if I just stream more and longer and just put my fucking head down and work harder, like eventually I will blow up. And it's like, it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you can't be massively successful at doing something else. But like, to your point, it's like, you either got it or you don't, and it's not like there's anything wrong with you if you don't got it, but beating your head into the wall and, you know, streaming for 12 hours at a time is not going to be the thing to save you if you just don't got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can't play in the NBA. I just realized that at some point, and it is what it is.
Right, true indeed. Yeah, if you don't got the equipment for it, that's it. So, Pop Man, looking ahead to Madden 22, the you know, as an auction house guru and, you know, a source of a lot of our coins. I remember. Okay, I've met a lot of people because of you specifically, whether it be on raids or just like connected through your channel. McClure and Jay Ruiz and Coach Mutt among them. I'll never forget last year at the end of 20 when Golden Tickets came out, and the Golden Ticket Bo Jackson was like, I think it was like 10 to 12 million coins at the point. And you had raided the channel like within the last week or something like this. And this guy, MeMut22, he's like, hey man, like, you know, I love your content. Pop has helped me all year. I got a fucking hellacious coin stack. I don't know where to spend them on. I'm gonna copy to Bo Jackson. I love the rush offense. I like what you're doing. When it was still 10 million coins, I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, Pop is really making these guys bread. So I say that to say, Madden 22 coming up, they announced like a couple little stipulations for the auction house, right? Like, we're going to get information that we had on the app is going to be available on the console. Like, it looks like they're going to work within like percentage ranges off of the median. To my maybe less trained eye, certainly less trained than you, it seems like that it's going to be all good. I don't know for sure if it will impact our ability to make coins if we're doing it correctly, but I think you would know better than I do. What do you think about some of the auction house stipulations that you've seen them talk about going into 22? Are you concerned or not really?
I'm not concerned. I think the screens are going to give more information, which is awesome, but people also just don't read. So like the bots and the noobs are still going to be bots and noobs, and we're going to be able to take advantage of them. Sorry, but that's how we make coins in this game. Yeah. I think it's going to hurt coin selling a little bit, but I also think that people who do sell coins are going to find a way around it. I think, you know, it's kind of like downloading MP3s, and no matter how many ways they try to block you from getting illegal music and movies, people get it, find a way. So I think it is going to make coin selling a little more difficult, but people who are just literally trying to make coins, whether it's flipping cards or whatever, I'm not concerned at all about it. I think EA did do a better job in limiting methods this year.
Very much better.
Like what we had with the Easter promo last year.
So good.
It was literally printing coins and zero chill and all the mistakes that they make sometimes. Like
the
those
infinite rolls, so good, man.
Yeah, those are more rare, but just flipping cards, buying low on a certain day, selling higher on another day. All those auction house additions are not going to stop those things from happening,
because people are still not going to understand. Well, you know, the noobs are still not going to understand that you got to throw a couple filters on that. They'll still be buying something with 16 minutes left as their first search result. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I would tend to agree.
Be able to take advantage.
I think we're going to be fine too. So you, Pop, offer a unique perspective in the way that it's different from at least ScoMo and CC. We're talking about how the auction house changes might make selling coins a little bit more difficult. And again, not to get you to spill any more specifics than you'd like to, but ScoMo and CC seem, from the outside looking in, to have taken more of the path of coin sponsorships and kind of, you know, and kind of like the complicated quote unquote relationship that with EA that comes along with that. You have, while you've been growing your channel, have also maintained a good enough relationship with EA that you're still on the Madden Live schedule. You know, you're still in the Cord and whatnot. Would you offer any perspective or advice either way to someone who maybe had the choice to pursue a coin sponsorship versus maintain the opportunity to have a relationship with EA? Do you feel either here or there on that subject?
I just know coin sponsorship is likely something I'll never do. I think always my biggest fear with that, and I don't even know if this happens or not, but my
Yeah.
biggest fear would be to promote that, and then somebody who saw me promote it buy coins from there, and then get ripped off or cheated or welched or something, and then they're like, "Hey, Pop, like I used your code to buy these coins and I didn't get them," and like I just don't want to advertise something that's a little sketchy and against the rules. And
Yeah.
I've also had my, I've had my, I've been working with EA for a couple of years now, and they've been great to me. And I don't feel like I'm a puppet of them. I still criticize the game and yell at the game and point out things when they're wrong and praise them when they're right. I do think getting the creator code this year was kind of like the world saying, thanks for doing the right thing, and
Yeah.
boom, it happened. It was a super surprise, and I'm so happy it happened. I probably wouldn't be sitting in this new house today if it didn't.
That's fucking
But I just
legendary.
think from a standpoint, I just rather not break the rules when it comes to that stuff. And even if Code Pop goes away and all that stuff, I think I'm just going to kind of stay with the path. But I don't think there's anything wrong with coin promoting and selling. Go for it. I mean, if it's going to put food on your family's table, do whatever's best for you.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm of the same mind. I've like made, the same decisions. I've kind of opted just to not, I mean, just in case, but certainly no judgment or anything like that. You gotta get your money up. And speaking of the, hi Mandy, hello. And speaking of this,
I see the dog.
yeah,
Or is it
Mandy,
a cat? Oh, it's
yeah,
a
it's a
cat.
cat. Mandy's in the channel, just fucking being the star of the show. The Code Pop, this is the first year that they've done creator codes. Were you indeed involved in like kind of the pilot of this type of program?
I mean, I had no idea it was coming. One day, whenever it started back in like October, I got an email, and the email said like it's a beta, and we want to invite you, and it's starting in like a week, so get ready. And I was like, well, okay, let's go. So I read the fine print. It all looked good, and it's been great from there. They originally, without getting into specifics, they set a certain amount
Right.
that we all agreed upon, and after like the first month, they were like, you're knocking it out of the park way more than we both thought we would, it's been great ever since. I have no idea if it's coming back from Madden 22. I really hope it is, but I have no idea. But that is definitely something that's just been great for this whole future of mine, or hoping to be able to do this full time.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I did not have a huge hand in landing you in the house with Code Pop, but if I dropped $100 on points, I was definitely still putting in Code Pop, yo. If you got any of you weirdos are still out here spending money on the game, make sure you're Code Pop before you go and lock that in. Pop man,
thank you. Thank you to everybody that's actually used it. I even have people who just put it in and then open packs with coins. So even those guys, it doesn't even count towards anything, but I still appreciate anybody that's used it, even for a $5 weekly fantasy pack. You guys are thank you.
Hell yeah, right. Oh, Pop man, we got your back big time. What did you play on? We matched it. You beat me. I'm 0-1 against Pop. I think that was on current gen though. Have you been like gameplay wise? Have you been on current gen or next gen this year?
I was all right. So I was I got a PS5 on launch. So as soon as we were able to play next gen, I did. I played it for about a month and a half. And honestly, the biggest thing that I really missed, and you'll probably laugh because you know how to do it. I had just learned how to stop and go on old gen, and I was like getting kind of good at it.
Yeah.
And then I went to next gen, and like this stop and go is trash. It just doesn't move well.
Yeah.
And so then I'm going back to old gen. So then I finished the year in old gen. But for the last like 2 months, I've only been playing Madden maybe once a weekend, if that. I've been going back and playing. I actually played a game last night and I rage quit before halftime. But I'll be on next gen next year for sure. It just seems like it's the future, and I wouldn't be surprised if development wise they put zero work into the old gen game. Yeah. And it's literally going to be 21 all over again. So I'm pretty sure I'll be on next gen. Unless I just absolutely can't take it, I'll be on next gen for 22.
And it seems like they're kind of trying to force the hand a little bit, like they're making next gen comp, and systems are still tough to get our hands on for sure. But I think pretty indicative that next gen is going to be the wave. Speaking of next gen, people are thinking that maybe if we do see an NCAA installment, it's going to be based off of very likely the next gen Madden engine, I would think. Do you have any, I mean, as a former way back in the day with the Northwestern dynasty, I'm sure you must be excited about the potential of NCAA coming back. Would you play if they did indeed release?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be like a second channel type thing too, to not butcher my main channel with the algorithm, but yeah, put out content for that. The NCAA 14 had their first Ultimate Team game mode. That was a lot of fun to play, so that would be fun if they brought that back. But I do want to do some franchise stuff. I might do like even an Eagles franchise this year. Nice. Just trying new things. But I'm excited about the possibilities of, well, I guess it's going to happen, about NCAA coming back. Yeah. And I tweeted out the other day as we were moving and packing and unpacking, I did find my PlayStation 3 and I found the NCAA 14 game. So that might be something to load up over the next couple weeks while we wait for August 12th.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. I don't know if their servers are dead or not, but I got it. So if we could get imagine we get an online match, NCAA 14 Pop v Fen. Have you had to capture your PS3 yet? Have you used like your Elgato capture stuff for your PS3?
I don't think so, no. You probably got to buy all types of converters and stuff at this point, huh?
It was kind of trash, yeah. Whatever whatever that software is that's inherent to the PS3 to protect against piracy, I had to get is it up on my desk? No, it's not. It was just like an HDMI splitter, but you don't ever wind up splitting the thing. You just use one port of it and kind of just use it as a pass-through, and it strips some of that stuff off. Yeah, I'll hit you
HDCP or something like that.
That's exactly the one. Yeah, so you just need a splitter for it, but that shit would be super lit. But Madden 22 around the corner, launch week, launch weekend, everybody that streams is going to be streaming. Everyone that watches Madden is going to be watching Madden. Do you have any plans personally for like how you're going to come at the launch, whether it be from your 10 hours playtime? Is the focus going to be on kind of offline capturing what you can for videos to get those up expeditiously? Will we see some of you on Twitch? Do you kind of have like a plan of attack, plan of action just yet?
Plan of attack on YouTube, I do, and that'll probably be like where my starting focus goes. It'll usually be like, put out the videos in the day, and then once I'm done with all that, load up on Twitch at night and just, at that point actually enjoy the game, because as a MUT content creator, it's all about just videos, promos, do this, do that, do this, and you don't actually get to just go and play the game yourself.
Right.
So that's kind of what it'll be. I have a notepad full of videos that I'm gonna and want to be doing for the start of 22, and then after that, it'll just be streaming at night and feeling out the game and going from there.
For sure. Mr. Benjamin's got a little snide question for you there, Popsy. Do you have any plans to update your YouTube header, considering both Wentz and Arenado have been traded? Pretty hell.
Yeah, I got to get my life together on that one. Is McCullough in the chat? I got to reach out to McCullough, because that's pretty bad. Both guys been traded. One's not even on my face. Yeah, it's bad. We got to do something about that.
We're just in fucking shambles, bro. Jeez Louise. And hold on, what were the other two okay. All right, don't let them troll you, Pop, especially not at my expense. I've been requested to ask about a bat story and then about the deck. Are we asking either of these, or are we bailing out on one or both, Pop? Start with the bat. We got a bat story. What's the situation here?
You're good. So I can't tell the bat story because it's a 20-minute story and I just can't do it. But okay. I've told it maybe 3 times on my stream. And that is actually, like I said, my second channel is just a playground for stuff. The last time I told it, I recorded it, and it's on my second channel. Okay. So you can go watch it there. It's youtube.com/strangerplays.
Hell yeah.
But basically, the short side of it is, in one of our old apartments, Miss Pop and I are sitting there watching TV, and out of the left corner of my eye, I see something flying in our dining room. And I immediately realized it was a bat, and I yelled at Miss Pop, run into the bedroom, and she runs into the bathroom instead. So now it's a 18-minute story of everything regarding us being in a tiny bathroom with a bat attacking us and how we got it out and rid of it and everything. But it is a legendary story that I wish the first time I told it, Like, I wish I had that recorded somewhere,
Right.
because it was made for TV. But it was an epic. As far as the deck building stream goes, all right, I don't even know how this started, but I talked about, we've been house shopping for a while, and then I said eventually I want a deck, and then everybody started talking about, why don't you build one your own? And I'm like, I don't know how to, like, I just don't know how to do that stuff.
I don't know where I would start.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's that, and obviously with the popularity of hot tub streams on Twitch, everybody in my chat wants me to build a deck in a hot tub. And then it even got to the point where they were really willing to, like, they wanted me to stream putting this desk together at the house, and they just want me to build stuff for some reason, and I don't understand why.
They just want to see more of you, Pop. I think
That's
really what
is it.
What do you think about the Twitch meta, the hot tub? It seems like we're kind of out of the woods a little bit on that. Did you think that was as fucked up and weird as I did, or do you not really offended by it? I thought it was fucked up and weird.
I wasn't offended, but I think it's fucked up how, like, those things can go on, but like dudes get banned for, having their shirt off or something. Like, it's just the ban system that Twitch has is super unfair. I read something the other day that somebody got disqualified from something Twitch related because they dressed up as Dr. Disrespect.
Saw that too.
And it's like, so you're gonna, like, put your foot down for that one, but all of this other stuff that you're allowing, this, like, porn on your site, is cool. So that's annoying.
Yeah, it's a little inconsistent. One of our boys, free clap, Mr. Clap in them cheeks. I mean, really a come up story. Like, out of respect for his privacy, I won't go into the whole thing, but literally just the type of guy that you root for. Completely fucking made something for himself on Twitch and is making a couple bucks, got to move at, he's homeless at a time, he's, really turning something good and creating a great community. They give him 3 strikes at one time to permanently ban his channel. He got a strike for his name, which was Mr. Clapping Them Cheeks. He had an emote that I guess was like butt cheeks hanging out of like Daisy Dukes or something like that. And I guess he was like mid-light level 5 hype train when they asked him, but I don't know if he like took his shirt off on stream or something and he wasn't in the correct category. So a real fucking come up like hero story, 3 strikes and 1 shot and his account's permanently banned. We'll never see him on Twitch again. It's fucking disgusting.
That's the bullshit. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that is the bullshit. Pop, man, we just crossed over an hour. I know on days that you're moving, you have so much shit to do, so I want to be very respectful of your time. I really fucking appreciate you coming on again any day, but especially, reporting live from a half-empty house while you still have so much to do. That's super love, bro, and I really appreciate that. Is there anything, Pop, that we didn't get to go over or, story you didn't get to tell or a bit that we did not get to cover during our conversation here? Anything that you'd like to leave the congregation with here?
Thank you guys for having me. I don't think so, unless you had any other things you thought to ask. But no, I think we're good. I definitely enjoyed it, and thank you for having me on there. Again, shout outs to everybody that doesn't know me and kept watching. Shout outs to all the people that came through from my YouTube and my Twitch to come check this out. And yeah, that's all I got.
Hell yeah, right, Pop. I mean, I know I said it a bunch before. I'll say it a bunch again. But as far as guys who have done the most for me on accident in a passive way, just going about your life and producing the content that you have and keeping the people around you that you do, I've met some actual IRL dear friends that I think I will have for years to come through you, through your network. You were the only guy that got me to convert from over to YouTube while I was watching I went from Zerk to Pop, and then Pop I took a detour to Twitch, and then it was like CC and ScoMo after that. Any single guy that has done the most for me, even on accident, Pop, it's been you, bro, and I just want you to know that and thank you sincerely, because I know I'm not the only one, bro. You've done a lot, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great to hear, man. Because we got to shout out McClure, because he was the one that, like, I had no idea you even streamed. I knew you came in the channel all the time.
Hell yeah.
And then, like, just randomly when I would be getting ready to get off, McClure would be like, raid Fendler, and multiple times, and I had no idea that you even streamed, and that's how I found out. And I was like, oh shit. And then Yeah, I saw the traction start picking up for you on Twitter and everything, and I'm happy for you, man. You're killing it.
I'm happy too, man. Yeah, and McClure, yeah, Mr. 80% in the channel, a dear friend of mine, Jay Ruiz, Coach Mutt. I mean, the list goes on and on. But Pop, man, I hope the rest of your move is minimally painful. Thank you so much again for your time. You're a fucking community legend. Keep leading from the front, man. We're paying attention. We're going to keep following you. Just keep doing your thing, Pop.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
You do the same, man. Thank you again. Peace.
See you. Peace.